mentality.
I know you're talking about the divide between men and women.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe, and this is a question I've been really asking myself,
Okay.
do you think that there's more of a divide between black women and black men? Because it gets, I can tell from social media, relationships and dating and everything like that in
Mm-hmm.
general, it gets so toxic
Mm-hmm.
because women are trying to tell men what to do, men are
Right.
trying to tell women what to do.
Right.
Women are in some cases trying to be like men, and men are some cases trying to be like women in terms of like roles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think all of those problems are amplified
Mm-hmm.
between like black women and black men? Like, or at least how do you see it from your perspective?
Okay.
Because I think there is.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of negativity, a lot of lack of accountability, a lot of shaming, a lot of bashing, shit like that.
Okay. So I think in terms of that, because like going into the whole race thing, that's like a whole different story. Like when I'm speaking, when I was just speaking, I was speaking like in terms of like two people, two souls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? When you come into like the reality and like when you bring in like race and everything, because race is definitely a factor. I feel like kind of yes, kind of no, because you know the stereotype of a boy raised in the house without his father, only with his moms and his aunties and stuff, and he doesn't really have a real male role model.
Yeah.
And then you're surprised why
Go ahead.
maybe his ways are more feminine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he might go back and like people don't expect men to go back and forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was raised in a house around a mama who went back and forth with him and around sisters who went back and forth with him. Why would he not, when he comes in public, go back and forth with somebody? You know what I mean? Like that's what he knows.
Mm-hmm.
So same thing, like that should go back to childhood. But I feel like kind of with black people, I don't know, because I don't want to say that like, well, yeah, actually, because when you think about it, like how like we were on like EBT and shit, you know what I mean? Well, not EBT, but like after the slaves was free and we all were in like one section with each other and shit, and like the government was supposed to be helping us, like all that shit. Like during that time, like with welfare and everything.
Yeah.
If you were in a house and you were on welfare, which don't fucking quote me, I think this is what I'm thinking, but if you were in a house and you're on welfare, you couldn't really have a man in the house with you.
Mm.
Like if you were a mother with kids, you couldn't have a man in the house with you.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, I think I remember of like a report, like they would come and like they would do like inspections and stuff. I think before everything was online and shit.
Yeah.
But they would do like inspections and shit, and if they saw like a man living with you, they wouldn't help you.
Really?
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
I'm going to have to look it up.
Okay.
I'm going to have to look it up because I'm pretty sure I'm right. But yeah, it was like, but that was, I think everything, like anything from the government, I be feeling like that's that conspiracy theory shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it goes into that, but like, girl, it's so much
Yeah.
shit. But like, men weren't really encouraged to be in the house. And then another thing, they was in fucking jail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's
Or
a
in the
higher rate of
streets.
black men in prison than it is like any
other.
other race. So they in jail, so they can't be around their families.
Mhm.
And then if I'm right with the whole welfare thing, they couldn't have men in the house.
Yeah.
It's kind of destined for men not to be around. And men are like women, yes, mothers, we are a significant part in like the situation. You have to have a mother to even have a baby.
Yeah.
But men play a significant role in just the family structure and of your kids like growing up, what they expect, like they play a big role. So I think not having fathers in the household for some people, that also contributes to that.
Yeah.
Like with like the role thing, like the roles that people play. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I know you were talking about how some men are like can be like emotional or overly emotional, and that can kind of rub the women they're with or talking to the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it can go the opposite too. I feel like because some black children grow up in single mother households,
Mm-hmm.
they're taught to be like their mothers are super strict to the point where it's like, well, I don't even think it's the single mother thing, I think it's more of like very tough love. Both parents can be there. It can be very tough love from parents to where
true.
they can be like, oh, like, you know, you'll be a little kid crying about something.
Yeah.
Oh, suck it up.
Suck it
Oh,
up,
stop
yeah.
being a baby. Or,
Yeah.
oh, stop doing this. Or, oh, you'll be fine. Or blah, 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 right? I feel like especially with black parents. But
yeah. No, especially.
yeah. But I feel like that makes some children to grow up and to be emotionally unavailable and to going back to what we were talking about, not opening up and keeping your guard up.
Valid.
Like, how do you feel about that?
I definitely think that that's true. Especially in terms with boys. It's more like kind of like how boys can't have dolls, you know what I mean? And boys can have kitchen sets, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that, because that's not what a boy is supposed to do. But there are men chefs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are men caretakers. There are fathers. Literally, fathers have to deal with babies all the time, you know what I mean? It's like you're not setting up your kid for that role. And then like with girls, okay, girls are supposed to do this, girls are supposed to do that. Where parents, they're more worried about raising them to what they should be than what they could be, if that makes sense.
Explain.
So, like, okay, if you gear your son towards one way and you tell him the other way is bad, you never know. Like, okay, like let's say with like the cooking shit, right?
Yeah.
You tell your son, oh, men don't do that, and they grow up. Your kid could have been a fucking chef, one of the highest chefs in the world. You know what I mean? But he's been raised, okay, men don't even cook. So that's not even something that I want to do. That's not even something that I would be interested in. You know what I mean? But that's when then it comes a part where it's up to you as an adult. Because what your parents do to you, cool. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean you have to be what they did to you. Like, you can always, like, reflect yourself and, like, change your whole,
You can.
your
It's
whole
possible.
thing. Yeah. You just have to do it, actually.